What's good, y'all? It's your boy JB, and today I'm back at it again with a different type of video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about none other than CEOSHOWOUTT, the king of business, the king of standing on business, and the king of connections when it comes to Raleigh. Why do I call him the king of connections? Why do I call him the king of standing on business? Well, we'll get into that later into the video, but first, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you guys want more videos like this. Make sure you guys let me know in the comments who you want to see, and I'll do videos on whatever gets the most likes. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So I'm gonna start this off with SHOWOUTT's earlier signs of business, if you look at where he came from and also his presence in the city. So we actually have a trend of seeing SHOWOUTT living in an expensive, extravagant lifestyle. A lot of times you're going to see him expensive brands. You'll see him in front of all types of vehicles. You'll see him with all types of cars, C8s, BMWs, all type of fast exotic cars that people normally can't afford. You'll see SHOWOUTT wearing all this crazy jewelry. You'll see pictures of him at Icebox. You'll see all this stuff. In order to get to that, I gotta tell you guys about how this all started. So the earliest we can see back in time with CEOSHOWOUTT is that he was supporting the brand All Hustle No Luck. All Hustle No Luck was a clothing brand. I guess it still is a clothing brand. I don't know too much about it, but you'll see him pulling up, selling people shirts, making money, and working on business like that. You don't really see any signs of negativity when it comes to the business. It seems like it's all a positive thing. You'll see a lot of people around the city wearing All Hustle No Luck clothing. You'll see SHOWOUTT with, other rappers, other artists such as Cars Too Cold. You'll see SHOWOUTT with, it's a specific group of people in Raleigh. And the group of people you'll see him with are normally on the higher end of the class. They're all having jewelry. They're all extravagant. They're all going out. They're all throwing money at strip clubs. And you'll just, that's where you'll see SHOWOUTT. You never really see him in the spotlight. You wouldn't really see him rapping. You always see him doing other things. I can't really talk too much about that because I don't know exactly what he does, but he's just getting somewhere with it. So when it comes to connections with SHOWOUTT, it seems like all the connections that SHOWOUTT has made has gotten him places. Now, a lot of artists start with the brand, but this guy started with a different clothing brand called Cream Clothing. Cream Clothing, from what I know, this is management. Cream Clothing, you'll see everybody wearing cream clothing everywhere. And this is honestly the best way to do it, because when people look at an artist, they care a lot about the brand more than the music. And if you have a good brand behind your music, then you'll have something for people to resonate with. So you'll see him with this Cream Clothing guy sporting cream clothing all the time. You'll see cars, cream clothing. You'll see the whole team with cream clothing. A lot of times he mentions Draco, another artist, I guess in his clique. You'll see him wearing cream clothing too. So aside from that, he's only been rapping for maybe 3 months, and he's surpassed a lot of artists in Raleigh. A lot of times we talk about artists, but we don't talk about what they do for the city. And SHOWOUTT is actually somebody that seems to give back to the city and does a lot for it. A lot of times you'll see him doing Thanksgiving turkey giveaways. You'll see him doing back to school supply giveaways. You'll see him doing Christmas giveaways, stuff like that every single year. SHOWOUTT is not somebody that doesn't give back to the kids. You'll definitely see him actively giving to the kids, actively putting this stuff together, actively interacting with people, and not just posting it. Well, aside from that, you'll also see what SHOWOUTT does when it comes to his people. You'll see SHOWOUTT buying his mom a land and buying his mom a house instead of buying a chain. Now that is a show of character. You'll also see SHOWOUTT buying cars and all that type of jazz. So a while back, I think SHOWOUTT posted something about crashing his scat pack, and that I never wish an accident on anybody, but that was one of the major things when it came to his first single. The release of his first single called I'm Back. In the hook, he talks about how everybody was happy that he wrecked the scat. Everybody's happy to see another person down after seeing them up for so long. I don't know what comes with it. Maybe it's jealousy. Some people just don't like seeing other people win, and that's just not the way to live. But I'll start off with the beginning of his rap career. His first single that dropped was called I'm Back. I think that dropped late December 2022, and that was the single that started his rap career. Since then, you'll see him in all type of media. It's hard to not see him. I'd say he definitely is the king of promotion, the king of connections when it comes to that, because it's a period of time where you just can't not see him. He's on all the blogs. You can't not see him. You see Cream Clothing everywhere. You see his face everywhere. You're seeing his clique post everything he has. Everybody in the city is posting it. And then you'll also see all the blogs in other cities posting it. When somebody does stuff like that, it really puts them in your face, and it's hard not to see it. So eventually you just have to give it a shot. A lot of people just don't understand how important it is to do promotion and get your sound out and get your face out, because this is one of the reasons I believe that he became one of the fastest growing artists in the city and continues to stay up at the top of the list when it comes to the faster growing artists in the city. So since then, you'll see him clicking up with Wiz Havin in Florida. Wiz Havin, if you guys don't know, is a very popular Florida artist. So you'll see him, you'll see Karis, you'll see Cream Clothing, you'll see all of them out in Florida, all supporting their chains in the trenches with Wiz Havin, shooting videos, making songs. You'll also see him with Saucy Jim, shooting videos, making songs. And every time you see them, you'll see that Cream Clothing brand. It's hard not to see it. Let's talk about his first release called I'm Back. You'll see a bunch of vlogs popping up. You'll see him on yachts. Also, you'll see him on the radio. Now, I will say he is one of the first artists I've seen hop on the radio within a month of starting to rap. Within a month of starting to rap, you'll see him on the radio, getting interviewed, playing his music. They pull out the diamond tester, and when they put the diamond tester on his diamonds, everything came out good. It seems like everything's real. So SHOWOUTT is not one of those people that are supporting fake diamonds and fake jewelry. He's actually the real deal when it comes to that. Continuing to his first release, you'll see him link up with Lil Meech at Star Bar for his release party, supported by Tim Boss. Everybody in North Carolina knows who Tim Boss is. If Tim Boss is supporting the event, you know it's going to be a big name. A lot of the times you'll see him in the behind the scenes or in the background of these music videos of other artists in the city. You'll see him with Karis on his track. Now, another thing I want to talk about is when he talked about his situation back when he was 16 and had to let off shots. I don't know how that ended, but I know he talked about it in the song. If you guys want to hear about that, go find out. It seems like everything's wiped off of the internet and you can't even find this man. This is why I call him a ghost. Nobody really knows what he has going on. Nobody really knows what he does, but everybody's seeing him and he's in everybody's face. Things that you'll see him have coming up: going to his jeweler where he spent almost $200,000 just on jewelry. A lot of people, it's hard to see $200,000 in one spot. This man has $200,000 around his neck. You'll see him performing, opening up for Lil Tyler this weekend, this Friday on the 7th. You'll see him getting booked for shows already less than 90 days into rap, and you'll see his whole team going up. Shouts out to SHOWOUTT. Do I know him personally? Yeah. Did I make this video for him personally? No, I made this for myself because I want to show how artists can really grow in the city depending on what you do, how you promote yourself. It seems like SHOWOUTT has been playing the behind the scenes roles the whole time, up until right about now, where he's decided that it's time to take over. Now, this is the perfect example of staying down until you come up. A lot of people don't understand that. If you see somebody behind the scenes the whole time, maybe they're just learning on what they're supposed to do, taking in information, they're making those connections, doing good business, getting those connections that they're going to need later on when they decide to carry out their next business venture. In SHOWOUTT's case, it seems like he's definitely played that back end role. He's definitely learned from the people around him. He's definitely amassed himself to somebody that's gonna be somebody to look at when it comes to rap. He didn't just start off with nothing. He started off with a budget. He started off rapping with everything you need: the cars, the jewelry, sound, look. It seems like he started off with all that, which I feel like is the reason he's also growing so fast. Because it's not that he just became a rapper, it's that people would think that he rapped because he looks like a rapper already. Based off the lifestyle, you would have thought that he already rapped. If you see somebody with $200,000 worth of jewelry on their neck, you're not going to assume that they just work a 9 to 5. You're going to think they're either a rapper, a scammer, or some type of big businessman, especially to have $200,000 on your neck. Now, what can we learn from CEO SHOWOUTT? The biggest thing we can learn from SHOWOUTT is consistency and promotion. Also, to stay down until it's your time. You would never see SHOWOUTT be one to hate on another person's success. I see him as one as a motivator to another person's success and whatever they're doing. Also, he stayed down until it was his time. A lot of people rush it. A lot of people want their time to come so fast, but they don't think about when their time is. You gotta know the right time to do something. You gotta build yourself to a specific place when it comes to being a public figure before you start making all these moves. A lot of people just think, let me just put some out, and that's it. Do you have the look? Do you have the confidence? Do you have what you need to push your brand? Are you your brand? You gotta think you are the brand. Now, his brand, starting in rap, is already somebody that lives an extravagant lifestyle that can talk about that. Are you depicting your brand, or is the vision for your brand and yourself two different things? That's what you guys need to understand about this. Now, when it comes to promotion, when you have everything already set, when somebody comes to look at your work, your social media, look at your social media presence, and they already see all these things together, they already see that, oh, well, this is how it looks. He already looks lit. He already has things in play. He already has the music. He has the brand behind him, the clothing brands. He has the neighboring brands. He has the team. When you see all that come together, it's not hard for somebody to become a fan very fast, especially when you're promoting yourself in different areas, because you don't have to only promote yourself in the state. A lot of artists in Raleigh think that you can just promote yourself on Instagram in your state by yourself, and they don't understand that it takes a lot more than just promoting yourself. You have to have a brand behind yourself, and you also have to promote in other areas, because if you can become popular nationwide, just think about how many fans that you'll have versus just fans in the city, fans that follow you. Everybody can share your work, but you're going to be shared by a bunch of people in the area, and maybe somebody else will see it. But if you're promoting yourself in the whole state, you promote yourself nationwide, you'll get way farther. You'll have somebody that doesn't hate you from your own city become your fan way faster than somebody in your city that hates you. Somebody in your city that is competition, somebody in the city that sees another person coming onto the ball, coming into the play, and that's going to take you out. I don't know what the whole hate thing in Raleigh is, but everybody in Raleigh just hates each other for some reason, especially cliques, and they all can just come together and go up. So what can we learn from SHOWOUT? Utilize your connections. Once you get your connections, maintain your connections. Stay down until it's time to use those connections. Once you use those connections, take off and do the best you possibly can. With that being said, if you surround yourself with nothing but successful people, no matter what, they can all do something different. They can all successful in different ways. You're going to be in that circle of success, so you can do something different but also be successful at what you do. Now, it is hard to get into these circles because you have to be a successful person, and then you also have to break bread, but that's not something that I think SHOWOUT is afraid to do. It seems like SHOWOUT is one of the first people to break bread in the room, and this is why he has became so successful. But you won't just see SHOWOUT hop in the booth. You'll see SHOWOUT behind the scenes with a lot of people recording, not recording himself, but just learning the business and learning everything behind the business when it comes to rapping. You'll see him around successful people in different areas. That's not only rap, that's not only what he wants to do. You'll see him around the successful people that do good in what they're doing. You'll see him around the rappers, learning how this stuff goes. You'll see him around the people that's investing. You'll see him just picking up all the information and waiting his turn to apply all that to himself in his own situation, in his own business. This is the conclusion of the video, and this is why SHOWOUT is the king of connections in Raleigh, North Carolina.